Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Hello, and welcome to the Infinite Escape Room, the puzzling podcast where a group of geographically diverse chums meet up, have a drink, and work together to solve a homemade escape room of the ears. I'm Mike. I'm drinking a grapefruit gin with Marks & Spencer's grapefruit gin with some grapefruit juice and tonic, which is, surprisingly enough, very grapefruity and very refreshing and very delicious. And joining me in this sweet, sweet evening, we have...
Hi, and I'm Danny, and I'm drinking a Gunner's Gold from the Loose Cannon Brewery, and it is a lovely pale ale tipple. Yum, yum, yum.
Yummaroonie.
And I'm Bailey, and I'm drinking a lovely Stolly vodka and tonic. I might have a Bloody Mary in a little bit, because I bought celery salt, because I'm that kind of girl. Doing it right.
Classy. Wait, do you need celery salt?
Yeah, celery salt, Worcester sauce, Tabasco, tomato juice, vodka.
And blood.
Henderson.
Oh, that
sounds awful.
My celery didn't arrive in the shop. Oh, sorry. I ordered celery and it didn't. Oh, okay, sorry.
If you live in the south of Wales and you can get celery to Cardiff.
Please do, hurry.
Hi, I'm Chris, and adventurous as always, I have a Coke Zero.
Boom. And I am John, and I am supping on the bitter taste of karma, which is an oatmeal stout by Hop Nation. There you go.
Oh,
It has
it's
a
actually
skull.
called Karma.
Karma
It has a
finally
skull.
caught up with you, John.
That's pretty
Finally
good.
caught up with you.
Karma has caught up with me in tinny form. That's good. That's nice.
Good.
It's not, blow my mind, but it's good. Though I am pissed off about the beer. I'm pissed
It'll
off about
blow
the
you
beer
something.
because I was sent by a subscription beer company, which I
right,
will not name. I was sent a mixed case of beer. This mixed case is supposed to contain a mix of light and dark beers, and it contained 8 IPAs and 2 stouts. That is bullshit.
You were very careful not to ruin any potential monetizing opportunities for us there in the future.
Yeah, good job.
Mm-hmm.
Good work.
Because you never know.
It's
You never
definitely
know.
No,
It's definitely
not
not
going
a
to name
beer
them.
company that regularly advertises on podcasts.
I don't know if it is, but yeah.
Yes, they are. They sponsor like half the podcast. Basically, them and Squarespace. are what keep the podcast afloat.
Suffice to say, if this beer company could sort out a darks-only box, I would buy that beer box 52 weeks of the year.
A start. Yeah.
Hello, Editor Mike here. At this point, we all went massively off topic for about 15 minutes. With all manner of things. It was who invented the Twix, a new fireworks shop discovered when helping somebody push a bus with a control centre, and the exact combination of broadcastable words for each of us to lose our jobs. And we rejoin just as Chris has come back, having got himself a proper drink.
Classic
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm
argument.
drinking a Dead Man's Fingers spiced rum and Coke.
Oh,
Good name.
Dead Man's
Nice.
Fingers, plural.
Maybe
Yep.
Dead Man Finger? I don't know, whatever.
Which
It
is
was
a
Dead Man's
kind of
Fingers.
seaweed.
Ooh,
believe
is
or
it?
not. Yeah. I ages ago went scuba diving on a wreck of a World War II freighter and turned around to face this fucking massive thing, which was terrifying. And there were all these sort of frondy, they looked like sort of gelatinous fingers on it, sort of wafting around, and they're about the length of your finger.
Oh.
Well, my finger, so twice the length of your stubby fingers, Hobbit people. But
Old shovel hands.
they call them dead man's fingers, and they sort of waft around on the wrecks of ships. Very spooky.
Oh. There's also a part of the crab's stomach that's called the dead man's fingers, and it's poisonous, so don't eat it.
I'm just watching.
Shall I get to the second
Mike's-
paragraph of the
Mike's-
podcast intro at any point? Or, I mean, we are 15 minutes into the recording now with the...
Sorry.
I think
Twins
we'd be
are
much
getting
better at this.
sidetracked.
Would be so much
Yeah.
better if the timer started at the beginning of the recording.
Yeah, it's like you got
We
5
would be
minutes
fucking on
to
it.
get out of the room.
hello there, and you're listening to the Anecdote Hour. Coming up next.
Ever had a Twix? John bought one once. And boy, would you believe. Did he find something
You know,
interesting in
one
the
time
wrapper?
I was in the south of France, and the man who invented the Kit Kat was there. I was helping him jumpstart his tricycle. He was the pilot, obviously.
So, what is the Infinite Escape Room? Well, it's an escape room, and it's infinite. And every room leads into the next, and it happens in your ear holes.
Seamless.
That's what it is.
Perfect.
Absolutely seamless.
Beautiful.
One of us presents a part of the Infinite Escape Room while the others try and solve it. And if we don't escape within the allotted time, usually half an hour, then we'll lose and rubbish stuff will happen to us. Oh, yeah, and before we kick off, we'd just like to thank our fabulous patrons who support the podcast and keep the episodes online. You can join their ranks for as little as £1 a month at patreon.com/The Infinite Escape Room. Check out our link in the episode description below.
Thank you.
So I dread to ask this question, but are we ready, folks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born ready.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then let's enter the Infinite Escape Room. Oh, and one more thing to say is that Danny's presenting today's puzzle. Danny!
Yeah.
Yay.
So, after taking a pill, please wait for at least 30 minutes before you notice any change. Oh, sorry, got the wrong tab open. Right.
Boom.
Last time, this is my seamless intro
analgesic, not analgesic.
They go in your
It goes
mouth.
in your mouth.
This is my
classic
seamless intro
Scrubs.
that I wrote all by myself with no help whatsoever. So, last time was some special Christmas stuff, but let's not get in the way of canon. Last time, you had just escaped the shaking graces of Andrew Lloyd Webber and were hurtling down the M25 on the backs of the Starlight Express. A group of silver-suited lunatics on roller skates, intent on turning both you and them into a grim traffic statistic. You were all just coming up to the Dartford Junction when, yes, thank God, they turned left and took the clockwise route. You're heading for Kent. And as the disappointed Starlight Express roller cyclists realise their mistake, it's already too late. They've rolled to a stop with the rest of the traffic as they join history's longest lorry traffic jam trying to get out of Dover to France. Thank God for a combination of new strains of COVID and fucking off our international neighbours with Brexit.
Yay.
Fun
Yay.
fact, I lived 10 minutes from that disused airport where they got stacked up, and that shit was real. Like, locals were going to donate food to the drivers.
Oh my God.
I wasn't.
Obviously you were.
The Sikhs
No.
donated like 1,000 curries, which is incredibly sweet of them. But also you think, I wonder how many portaloos they had, because 1,000 curry-fed lorry drivers are going to need to do a lot of shitting.
Well,
Yeah.
They probably weren't like spicy curries. Like, you know.
You sure?
Do you think it was like
Everyone's
1,000
Spice is different
almost?
for different people. I used to live with a guy who thought popcorn chicken at KFC was too spicy.
Whoa.
What the
Whoa.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you don't live with him anymore, Dan.
Mayonnaise is spicy.
What is this?
I don't think...
Okay, I'm moving on now. Moving on now. With the Starlight Express having stopped, you can now safely dismount on the hard shoulder of the M25, while your saviours and unwanted musical carriages are swept up with the lorry drivers to have mandatory COVID testing. There's nothing much around you apart from the rolling fields of Kent and a single much-abused portaloo. You go to the portaloo and try the handle. It crumbles away in your hands. Funnily enough, 16,000 lorry drivers worth of use in 2 days, curry-fed, mind you, has given this poor thing a century's worth of use.
Yeah.
The door swings open and you step inside. There's no much abused shitter in here. Instead, you're greeted with the sight of a staircase leading down into a brick-walled cellar. Fake candle sconces lighting the way down. You reach the bottom of the incredibly long staircase and find a large metal door. You open the door and walk into a very large square room. You hear a slam behind you of the door closing, but as you turn around, there is no door, just a seamless wall. You find yourselves inside a large room with light blue walls, and you can see the following in front of you. Pens ready?
Got my pen.
Got my pen.
Okay.
Even I have a pen.
I got my pen.
Excellent. In front of you, you have a large trunk in the centre of the room, an inverse dome skylight in the centre of the ceiling, a large mirror on the left wall, a small hole next to it on the left-hand wall also, a door in the back wall, a circular window above the door, a set of shelves against the right wall, a table in the right back corner, and a small hatch and a lever next to it, next to the shelves. The side of the large trunk facing you suddenly lights up a dull red and goes out. There's a dull tone, and then a red digital clock face appears on it. It shows 35 minutes and begins to count down. Your time starts now.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Okay, no, go first, Emma.
I was going to say, can we have a look in the hole next to the mirror?
Within the left wall, you can see a small hole. There seems to be a small grey outline to the wall, which looks like a wall plug. It looks like a screw could go in here.
Okay, so wall plug is in like the thing that used in construction to make a hole in the wall, sort of screw up like a little
security.
Are they called wall plugs or raw?
Raw plugs is the brand.
I thought they were
Same way that not all vacuum cleaners are Hoovers, but all Hoovers are vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned something.
There we go. The more you know.
I've learned interesting facts about seaweed. Who invented the Twix? How to jumpstart a Boeing 747.
It's like we're some other podcast, something a podcast of comedy and facts.
Yeah.
No such thing as a
What
Twix.
other
Knowledge transfer. Yeah.
Danny, so the skylight, if I look up into the skylight, what do I see?
Yes, in the centre of the ceiling is an inverted dome skylight. No light is coming through it, so it's just darkness.
So sky dark.
Can we have a look in the mirror? Is there anything?
Presumably,
I just say that, like, all right, but it could be. Is it like a two-way mirror, or is there any way we can look at that?
Vanity, thy name is Bailey.
So, on the left wall is a large frame about 8 foot high and wide. Within the frame, it seems to be filled with a flowing liquid membrane that reflects on the surface like a mirror.
See?
Going to touch this surface, the others suddenly recoil in shock as a smaller finger protrudes out of the cube in the centre of the room. It appears to be Bailey's finger, but smaller.
Oh my God, it's
it and move it around and push your whole arm through and confirm that it is indeed your arm, but on a smaller scale.
Can we shrink Bailey?
No.
Can I push myself all the way through the mirror? I want to see what happens if I try and walk through the whole thing.
Yes, so then basically as Chris walks through the mirror, a smaller Chris emerges from the cube in the centre.
Can Chris,
What
can
can
you
we
breathe
do with
in
this, Chris?
What?
Well, I'm just thinking, if you're coated in mirror juice, are you able to breathe? Is that like an airtight seal?
It doesn't coat him. For Chris, it's like he just jumps through a frame. There's no...
gotcha.
Now,
It's a bit like TV.
How small am I?
So
I thought
so you lose like 4 foot.
I wanted an action figure.
Again.
That's like,
I want to go through again. What happened?
So what? Sorry, Dan. So Chris is then like 2 foot tall.
Is he now 4 feet tall or 2 feet tall?
How tall are you, Chris?
Oh,
6'3".
Oh, okay. So then you're like a bit less than half, but you're considerably smaller than you were.
We're going to find out later that is totally irrelevant, aren't we?
It's
You mean like
just
3 foot? Yeah. Okay. Can I go through again?
Right. So Chris goes through again, and an even smaller Chris emerges from the centre cube.
How can I breathe? Can I still breathe?
Yes.
Chris is
I think you can breathe until told otherwise.
But the oxygen will be too large for my lungs to process.
You have to suspend your willingness of disbelief.
To be honest,
like
Chris, I think
that.
when we got to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, we decided at this point we were going to let that go.
How did this magical mirror, does it obey Euclidean blankets?
Can we go back through the trunk and become bigger, or is it irreversible?
Well, it's just Chris has gone through, isn't it? It's your hand and Chris several times.
Yeah.
My hand,
So, Chris,
I've got a tiny hand now. Like, take my strong hand.
There's a dark joke in here somewhere.
Deadpool joke.
Don't
coming
even.
in.
Oh God. No.
I knew I'd seen it somewhere, but yes, it is Deadpool.
Just to clarify, when Bailey pulls her hand back out, it's normal size.
Okay, so if Chris went back through the trunk and out the mirror,
But how does it feel?
he would become Chris size again.
Can we try sending John the opposite way round?
To make me bigger.
John can't
Yeah, I just
quite fit the other way
Oh,
round.
fuck you, Danny.
This is
Can
too
we
big.
try and send Bailey the other way round?
And I'm taller than
so
John.
if Bailey squeezes through the hole of the trunk, a larger version of Bailey
Oh,
comes out of the
Amazonian
wall.
Bailey.
Brilliant.
Amazonian woman.
We have the Bailinator.
the Baileynator Jones lives once more.
Shall we look at what else is going on in the room before? I get the feeling this probably isn't the entire puzzle. Although
I part of it, but not all of it.
Danny,
What
the
about
hatch
shelves?
with the lever. If
Oh,
I
okay,
pull
the
that lever whilst not standing on the hatch, does the hatch open? Does anything happen?
So the hatch is on the wall. It's not on the floor. Yeah, that's fine. So on the right side of the wall is a small metal hatch and a lever next to it. Pulling on the lever, the hatch lifts up. There's a small, narrow shaft behind the hatch, but you can't see what's down there.
Okay, we need to get a tiny person into that hatch.
Oh, we know how to
we know a tiny person.
Yeah, there's...
Alan's not here.
Oh, shut up, John.
You try and reach down the shaft, but there's a plate of glass that blocks it, so you can't go further down.
Amazonian Bailey, do you want to pick me up and put me in the hatch?
You wouldn't be able to go further down the hatch anyway, because there's the glass blocking it.
Okay, I'm just wondering, let's see what's in the room before we
shelves.
start going.
Against the right wall is a set of shelves. They are about 3 foot high with 2 shelved levels. The top has a large hexagonal depression in the centre. Next to that is a small 3D hexagon piece. On the second shelf under that is what appears to be a large fuse, like you would see in a fuse box in your house, a snooker cue ball with 2 small holes in one hemisphere of it, a crosshead screwdriver, and what you believe is a monocle without a chain.
Oh, I'd like the monocle, please.
Yeah, Mike pops the monocle clasped in his eye socket.
Thank you. I don't have enough. I've shaved my beard off, so I don't have any features on my face at the moment, so I feel like I need an accessory.
I'm noticing that we've got a
Babyface.
screwdriver. We have a wall plug. We're waiting a screw. We have a screwdriver. We have no screw as of
but
yet.
no screw in
So
it.
presumably we can find a screw elsewhere. If we check out the table, Danny, what do we find?
On the right hand at the back of the room is a large round table. It's not a usual table, as it seems to have a large cross groove in the top of it, and the stand has a set of curves running round to the floor.
I know what to do.
Looking above the table, you can see a large hole in the ceiling above, filled with a flowing liquid membrane that reflects on the surface like a mirror.
I know what to do. We need to make the screwdriver massive and use it to screw the table.
Yes, because it's and I'm thinking we need to make the fuse smaller
Yes.
because it's a big fuse. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where
Very
this
good.
comes in.
Can I just,
I don't
can
know
I
what
just,
the fuse
can I
is
just
for
go back
yet.
over that? You want to screw the table.
I want.
Yeah.
No, I want. Yes, I do.
Chris.
So, Danny, if I pick up the crosshead
That's
screwdriver
like a
and I
proper-
throw it through the shimmery mirror, does a smaller version? Oh no!
you'd
throw
have
it
to
through
throw it
the
through the
chest. Through the
cube.
chest. Does a smaller,
Yep.
bigger version pop out the shimmery mirror?
It does.
Can I keep
But-
doing that until it's big enough to fit the slot in the table?
But it's got to come through the shimmery mirror in above the table.
But can't I just?
We got to
Lift
find
it.
out what connects that.
Can't I just lift it?
No, you do that, but by the time it's kind of reasonably sized that you'd have a go at it, it's too heavy for you to lift.
Can I stand on the table and put my hand through the mirror and see where it comes
It's
out?
quite a tall room, so you can't
John,
reach
then.
Can I do it?
it. No, even John
Oh,
can't reach it.
Okay.
Oh.
Just
Can
out
I-
of reach.
Who?
Can I take the golf ball, snooker ball,
Yeah.
and I want
Oh.
to throw it through and see if it reappears anywhere, if I hear anything.
Okay, so you throw the cue ball up into the ceiling, and let's say Mike noticed that a very tiny cue ball floats out the top of the cube in the center of the room and then plops back down. That's the one thing you haven't actually looked at yet, is the cube in
Well,
the center.
two things, actually,
Oh,
because
I
we've not
thought
looked at
the
the door either. Can we take a look
Or
at the
the
cube in the centre of the
window.
room first, though, Danny?
Oh, okay,
Sure.
sorry.
Inspecting the trunk in the centre of the room, you can see it's not a trunk at all, but a large square box on a stand. The box is about 5 foot high and the same width. On top of the cube is a domed indent with what looks like wireframe at the bottom, a small circular hole in the corner, and on the left side of the cube is a framed opening about 3 foot by 3 foot. Inside the frame, the opening itself seems to be filled with a flowing, rippling liquid membrane that reflects on the surface like a mirror. The small hole on the top also has this reflective liquid membrane.
Okay, so when we go through the mirror, we come out the small hole in the top, and presumably, if we and we get smaller, if we go the other way on that one, go through the small hole on the top, we come out the mirror bigger. If we go through the hole in the shimmery hole in the ceiling, we come out smaller through the side hole in the cube. So presumably, if we go
No,
through
the
the
two
side,
sides are the side, and the ceiling is on top
Is
of
the little
cube.
hole. So if we put the screwdriver through the little hole, it'll come out massive
I see,
and go into the table.
Okay,
So can we
okay,
do?
you're right. Let's do
Should
that.
we
I want to
do
put-
which
do that.
thing?
That was the
Should we
time
do
we were
that
doing
first?
We're putting the screwdriver into the little hole to make it massive.
Yes, we're going to give it a good old
God's
screw. Yeah.
It was going to be so clean until that. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
this
sorry.
wasn't going to be an explicit tagged
was it
episode.
really?
This one. Now I've got.
Screw's not explicit.
You take the screwdriver and put it through the hole in the top of the cube. As you do so, a large screwdriver comes down from the ceiling in the room to meet the large table and lock into the grooves. You unscrew the table from its hole. It appears this screwdriver has a magnet in the end as the larger-than-life screw attaches to the end of the screwdriver. You lift it back out of the cube, and now you have a loose screw. Something glints in the new hole in the floor, and you can see it's a small, circular-framed mirror with a hanger on the back. It's a bit of an odd mirror, as it doesn't seem to reflect directly opposite you, but instead seems a bit skewed to one side.
Hello, listeners. Editing Mike here. Now, we hadn't realised this at the time, but Danny had done something quite fiendishly clever with this puzzle. Have you worked out what the twist is yet? We certainly hadn't.
Okay,
So what's this one?
The little screw will go in the hole next to the mirror.
How big is that screw?
Yes.
Do we need to change its size?
Like
or-
screw size.
Yeah, it's normal screw size.
Oh,
now.
great. Let's stick it in there.
Cool.
We need to
Stick it
change
in.
the size of the screwdriver, or is that now the correct size too?
The screwdriver will
Yeah,
be the
no,
correct size
that's
because it was
all the-
magnetised to the.
It came up. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get that screw in that wall.
Excellent. So using the screwdriver, you fix the screw into the empty wall plug and then hang the mirror off of it now. It now
Yes.
sits happily opposite the hatch on the other side.
I'm going to.
Okay.
I want to suggest a quick diversion. So when Danny was describing the shelves earlier, he said that there was a hexagonal depression in one of the shelves and a 3D hexagon next to it. Now,
Yes.
as a child who grew up with little square box and little square holes, and at the age of 15 realised that you could make them line up so they went through each other. Can we try the little hexagonal thing in the little
That's a
hexagonal?
good idea.
It seems I doubt Danny will have given us the thing we need next to the thing, but just in case he has.
Yeah, so you try the hexagonal piece in the depression, but it's too small. It doesn't fit in there.
Can we make it
Make it bigger.
with the make a bigger thing?
With the
Oh,
make it bigger thing.
Put it through the,
Technical term.
the
Put it-
cube and
Yeah,
through
out the mirror.
big mirror. Yeah.
excellent. So having passed the small hexagonal piece, through the small hatch in the cube, you now have it the same size as the depression on the shelf.
Can we put it in the depression?
Put it.
Yeah,
put it.
so you place it inside the groove and there is a click. The shelves then lower to reveal two small doors, one about the size of a tablet and one about the size of a mobile phone.
When you say tablet, do you mean like an iPad?
Like an
or-
iPad.
Oh, okay, like a
Other
the
tablets are available.
Oh, that big,
Yes,
yeah.
other tablets are available. But for point of
But
reference.
they're shit. Like everyone knows they're shit compared to the iPad.
And they're all shit.
I can't actually disagree with you there. That's the thing. Like, even it's accurate. It's completely accurate. Every other tablet manufacturer, especially Samsung, who should just give up, they're all just not as good.
And even if they do come close, like the support on them on the iPad, they just keep on going.
But shit just works, and they're good bits of
Yeah,
hardware. This
I'd
one's
say
lasted me
that.
for years. My last iPad lasted me for
Okay,
6 years.
now you guys have finished smearing Steve
and
Jobs'
sponsoring
fetid
Apple.
semen off of your faces.
Like,
Can we move on?
Are we going to
Yeah,
get attacked
sponsor
by the
the
Chinese
podcast.
Communist Party for inadvertently slating Huawei?
or I think the British government have done that enough, haven't they? Like,
Sorry, which company?
Huawei.
The Chinese Communist Party.
You mean
What?
Huawei, not who are we?
Huawei.
What?
Oh, right.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, I didn't know that either.
It's
Colin.
Huawei.
Huawei. Huawei. That's what I'm
Huawei.
saying.
No, Huawei.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what
wow.
I said.
Huawei.
Oh, I can't.
Oh my god.
Huawei.
We have 20 minutes left.
Who are we?
Let's go. Come on.
Where are we?
We have tiny doors. Can we escape through these
We've
tiny
got a
doors?
big fuse as well. I'm
We have.
thinking the big fuse is to light up the tunnel. I don't know.
There was a
I
tunnel?
think that's what's going to happen. There's a tunnel behind the hatch.
Danny, the holes in that have emerged by the shelves, the iPad sized,
Can we
One.
look?
Oh, they're doorways, weren't they?
and the any phone that's not an iPhone
Yes.
for balance sized one. If I sort of stick my hand in any of those holes, do I feel anything? Is there anything in there?
So they're just tiny doors at the minute,
It's
and
like-
they're so tiny that your manly fingers can't grip to open it properly.
I must shrink myself.
Excellent.
mirror.
Oh,
I shall dive through the mirror
Go.
Yeah.
John does a somersault and a backflip
it comes out the
and
cube,
goes
yeah.
straight through the mirror.
I'm capable of that, definitely.
Ting
Sure.
your, your height by 2/3. You come out the other side 6'5".
So which room are you getting yourself small enough to go in? The smallest one or the medium
The
one?
smallest one. Oh,
The
this is
what
where
one?
we
The
need, we need,
weeniest.
we need
Smallest.
Ryden to do the tiny man impersonation.
Is that,
So-
no, that's the man in a box
one.
I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
that was
I'm
man
a
in a
the
box.
Can I get small enough to go into the smallest one, please?
Okay, so after shrinking down small enough to enter, you find yourself in a small lit room. There appears to be a large panel on the wall with a large red button on one part. Above it is a light labelled safety, which is currently off,
Press the red
and
button.
some circuitry on the other panel.
Press
In
the
the
red button.
centre of this layout of wires is a small square slot breaking the circuit.
That sounds like a fuse.
Can I have the fuse, please?
All right, so if
Can
we,
somebody
I
pass me the
pass the fuse. I hand John the huge fuse and squish him.
Excellent.
No, I don't. I was joking.
Is that how this
I
friendship
pass-
ends?
I pass the fuse through the mirror the right way and make it small enough to be
Yep.
regular fuse shape and size, and then
Yep.
I put my hand very gently next
Oh
Yeah,
to
my
John.
pass it
God,
to
it's
John.
hideous.
Excellent.
So his little tiny baby hand.
You should really clean under your fingernails.
Excellent. After shrinking down the fuse in the main room and getting it passed into you, John, in the small room, it slots into place in the circuitry and you hear an electrical whir behind the wall.
Thanks for the sound effect, John.
Sorry, I don't know why I did that. I mean, it's like,
Okay, can I
I am going to headbutt the red button.
So John presses the red button, but you're not aware of anything happening.
Can I examine the circuitry?
Yeah, everything's working fine just from where
Thanks,
you
John.
are. You can't see anything else happening.
Bollocks.
You stay there, John. We'll come for you. It'll be fun.
We'll let you
So
know.
Collins is
Time to
shrinking down
become
to
medium
iPad.
man. I'll step through the mirror once
Medium
and
man.
come out the trunk to become half my
Excellent.
size. I am now 6
Okay,
inches.
so in the larger of the two rooms, you can now see a long rectangular case on the far wall, and to your right behind some glass, a system of mirrors. The long case has a large angled safety glass covering it with a handle at the bottom. Behind that, there seems to be two apertures against either wall that look a bit like camera lenses. In the centre between these two is a circular slot with nothing in it.
The ball.
Currently, there is a red laser beam coming out of one end. It shoots across the case, but it does not seem to be hitting the other end correctly.
The ball.
Nothing else is happening.
The ball.
The mirror with the funny angle.
No,
As
isn't it?
It's
the
got a
ball?
very thin slot that a thin circle could fit in.
The mirror with,
A
the, mirror
thin-
with the funny
Oh,
angle.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, can we take the mirror with the funny
Oh,
angle?
yeah.
we hang it on the wall?
Shrink it down and then give it
Yeah,
to
it
Mike.
was hung.
So you shrink the mirror down and slot it into place, and it then reflects the laser beam back to where it's coming from, but blocks it from its path.
Okay.
Hmm.
What? Sorry. So we had.
So can we have a description of this area again?
Yeah, so you see a long rectangular case on the far wall, and to your right, behind some glass, a system of mirrors. The long case has a large angled safety glass covering with a handle at the bottom. Behind that, there seems to be two apertures against either wall that look a bit like camera lenses. In the centre between these two is a thin circular slot with what had nothing in it. I should have also said, when Mike lifted up the safety glass to put the mirror in it, the laser beam shut off and the safety light came on in John's room.
Ooh.
Ah, John, you have a
Can
button.
you press the button?
Press the
Can I
button.
press the button? Sorry.
Yeah.
Push the
So
button.
with the mirror back in place and you shut the safety glass, John pushes the button and the laser beam comes back on, but the mirror just angles it off into a different direction. And it's not what you're looking for. Nothing else happens.
Press the button
Danny,
again.
what else? What was on the bottom shelf? I've got the big fuse which we've used. The
Yep.
pool ball with the two holes in it.
Yep.
The screwdriver that we've used. Was there something else?
Yes, and a monocle that Mike's
I've got-
currently wearing.
What about the monocle? Can the monocle
It's
do
really
something?
small because I'm currently wearing it. I step through with it.
Yes, currently it's too small to fit in that slot.
Oh shit, son! It's supposed to go in that.
Right, okay.
Send it back.
Cool fashion accessory. Come on, guys. We can find something else.
Can Michael give me the monocle, please?
Can we use Bailey's specs?
No, I literally can't see without them. I'm like Thelma.
I've got no features on my face. That's like a disability. Without this monocle, well,
if I can't see, that's an actual disability, John. Mike.
I look like a potato. I look like a potato, which has got like just a couple of growths.
To this. I'm not part of this.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Can I pass my tiddly monocle out to Bailey out of my medium-sized door?
And I try not to crush it with my massive hands. And I drop it through the cube.
Yeah, so it comes out bigger.
Whizzes out the mirror.
Yeah.
And then I hand that back to. Is it big enough?
Okay, so with that bigger, it now sits quite nicely into the slot.
Click
in the thing. So
is it
Mike
big
puts
enough?
The safety
So
glass
many
down.
good lines.
Mike puts the safety glass down. Pushes the button, and with the lens now in place, it passes through the monocle, which focuses it into the other aperture. You then see the laser through the glass next to you. You see the beam bounce from mirror to mirror across and then straight up. Currently, you can't see anything else happening.
Editing Mike here. Have you worked out the twist yet? I'll give you a little clue. It has something to do with the cube in the centre of the room and how the mirrors, which make things bigger or smaller, interact with it. It's frightfully clever, and we had not figured it out. Oh, John, you're above.
Am I?
I think the smaller...
No, you're next to each other.
Oh, shit.
I'm in the wrong hole.
Lads.
It's not the first time you've said that. There's a window above the door that we haven't looked at.
Yes, you look at that. You filth wizards.
Filth wizards, I love it.
So there appears to be a small aperture above the door. It has clear glass across it, but behind the glass you can see what looks like a sort of lens you'd find on a fancy camera.
So being filmed. How much time have we got, by the way?
9 minutes, 47
9
seconds.
minutes. 9.5 minutes.
Okay. Sorry. We'll talk about OnlyFans later. Let's go.
Cool.
So...
Okay, so the laser. What's the laser? Where's the laser going up?
It's going upwards to where we
into
can't
the
see it.
skylight.
Yeah, through a system of mirrors.
Oh shit! The
From
skylight.
your tiny rooms on the floor.
Oh, but we
see
couldn't
anything
see
to the skylight?
anything. We couldn't see
I
anything.
thought it was just dark.
Can we
Yeah,
clean it?
there's still nothing in the skylight.
Okay.
Can we use Tiny Me and put me in the thing with the mirrors?
No, because you'd get incinerated by the laser beam.
Oh. Can we do that anyway? I don't know. Sorry. I think John and Mike should come back through everything and go back to full size now.
I like being this size. A box of celebrations is just incredible at this size. It's awesome.
It's
like full size chocolates. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to return myself to normal size.
Hey, I've got normal voice John back.
I'm going to return myself to normal size and then put my willy through the size measure thing.
Excellent. Everyone is disgusted with you.
We've got the ball that we haven't used yet.
Left or right?
Chris.
But
we
yes, we have it. It's got two holes.
And it's got those two holes in.
So if you look through one hole, do you see out the other? Is it sort of a through?
No, it's
all the
on
way
the
through?
same side, isn't it?
So sorry, Danny, where the laser was disappearing upwards before, it was so it was going through the mirror array inside the medium-sized room, and then it was going through the aperture and bouncing upwards. Was that right?
Yep.
Are we able to inject anything in after that aperture, like for example a ball with a hole?
No.
What about the mirror?
Oh,
the angled
about
mirror.
We're using that to bounce.
No, I thought it was wrong. I thought it was wrong.
No, we took the mirror out to put the lens.
Corrected through the monocle.
Oh shit.
What about the hatch? Is the hatch
the
changed?
hatch in the main room is currently closed because you left the lever.
Can we open the lever again?
Can we open the lever?
Sorry.
I don't know why I said lever.
Holding the lever down and the hatch open, you see the beam fire out of the hatch across the room. It then hits the spot below the screw that's in the wall plug.
We need the mirror back. Okay, Danny, is it the mirror or the monocle?
That's currently reflecting.
The monocle is currently in the laser beam thing in the medium room.
So is the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror's tiny and in the medium room.
Time to go medium mic again then to retrieve the mirror.
Okay, so you've got the mirror back.
Okay.
Go and get the mirror out the door.
I knew the mirror was the thing.
So then what do we do with the mirror?
And then hang the mirror on the where the laser beam's pointing.
Okay.
Did you put it back to normal size with Mike?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Mike
excellent.
did that.
With the mirror in place, the beam hits the mirror and is then angled back and it seems to hit into the skylight and just disappears off.
Can we look into the sky? Are we about to down an airplane?
Yeah, there's nothing coming out of there, but you do happen to notice that another beam is now emitting out of the domed indent on the cube in the centre of the room and firing out at a similar angle.
Hello, Editing Mike here. This is it. This is the big clue. So we are escaping from an escape room that is also in the room with us. So when we're poking into the cube in the middle, we're poking into the side of the room. That's why things are bigger, because, you know, the room is smaller when it's in the room with us and bigger on the outside. So it's this kind of awesome, cool, metaphysical, universe transforming thing that Danny's done here. And it's very smart, and we were not, because we did not work this out. So yes, now you know how it works. We did not. If you did work it out, then bally good for you. You're pretty sharp and pretty cool. Domed indent, the ball. We put the cue ball on top of the domed indent.
Yeah.
The domed
And fire the
indent.
laser into the hole.
Whole size.
Yeah,
whole
yes,
side
yes,
down.
yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, passing the cue ball into the cube, it gently rolls into place onto the domed indent on top. And as this occurs, you see a giant white ball roll into view above you and sit into the skylight above.
Shit.
The laser beam's now hitting that.
Okay. But nothing else happened.
Currently, no, because you've just rolled it into place. It just rolled it in.
Can we twist it?
You want to twiddle it? Excellent. Yeah. So you rotate the cue ball so that the small hole lines up with where the laser hits. It then enters the cue and fires out of the second hole on the other side, which you have now lined up opposite the door. The beam fires into the lens above the door, and you hear a click, and the door pops open.
Hey!
The beam
Yay!
stops. The other side of the now open door has a slight shimmer to it. As you exit out of the room and pass through it, it seems to return you all to your original sizes. You pass through and down the corridor until you hit a dead end. As you go to turn around, assuming you're lost, a metal shutter slams down in front of you. You hear what sounds like a large vacuum starting up and see all your clothes start to ruffle in the wind. When suddenly, you're all sucked up above into some kind of tube network. You race along the tubes at some speed, but where will you be fired out? And you've solved my puzzle.
Hey, nice.
Yay!
I thought we were all going to get stripped naked.
I thought,
Yeah,
I thought, like, where's this going to? And also, I thought we'd got into a second room, which we had to get out of. I was like, we've definitely
with like 5 minutes to spare. Oh, top puzzle, Danny. That was some actual
really good.
framework.
That was some Inception shit.
Yeah, you guys like, do I need to be smaller or bigger?
That was brilliant. That was brilliant, Danny.
I have to thank John for that one, because you actually inspired this one. Because in my last puzzle, it wasn't anything like this. And you said, is this a weird puzzle where the thing in the centre of the room is the room we're in? And I was like, that's genius. Write that down for later.
Oh, because last time we had like a pyramid or something in the middle of the room, didn't we?
Yeah. And John was like, wouldn't that be cool if like what we were touching was what we were in and like all meta?
Oh,
I was
so
like,
the cube
genius.
in the middle was
the room you were in. But yeah, so when you exited the big room, you'd come out into a bigger room. But it was the same room, and vice versa. When you went into the smaller room, you'd obviously emerge bigger in your current room.
Oh, I love that one.
Wow.
That was really awesome, Danny. Fair play.
We did not figure that out. We managed to solve the puzzle without making that
realizing.
Yeah, so that's why when you put the screwdriver through, it was re-entering in the same room. And when you put the cue ball in the skylight,
oh my God,
it appeared above you.
Oh, Dan, you're too smart for this podcast.
Because we were like,
you were in the room.
We're making the screwdriver really big. No, you're not.
No, literally, John, all we were saying was, screw.
Yeah.
Put it in.
Yeah,
slot it in. That's like, that's all we were doing for
Sounds
half an hour.
Bums.
So tune in next week, folks, to find out what happens to us and the rest of our clothes in the pneumatic tubes of fun and games. Thanks very much, Danny, and thanks very much for listening. You can subscribe to us on all of your favourite apps, feeds, iTunes, and at our website, theinfiniteescaperoom.com. You can also follow us and get in touch via Facebook and Twitter at tier_podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, and as always, we rather hope you did, we'd be obliged if you could please just leave us a review anywhere. Google Maps, Ask Jeeves, Uber.
Ask Jeeves.
We've got an Uber account now, as it's a big help in reaching
MySpace.
the audiences.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you're really cool, then just join our Patreon, because our patrons are awesome, cool people, and you can be awesome and cool too.
Yeah. On MySpace, we're friends with Tom, and he's a big guy.
So we'll love you lots, and we'll see you next time on the Infinite Escape Room. Tatty bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.